Welcome to Dog Food TV. This is episode 1. Dog Food is brought to you by Dog Food Store, premium sportswear brand for Cleveland football fans. You can find that at www.dogfoodstore.com. I'm actually wearing a nerd hoodie, right? It's got the elf, got Jim Brown chilling in the cut right here. Before we get started, big shout out to Fox 8 New Day Cleveland. They've been showing us a lot of love, a lot of support. Really appreciate that. So if you're in the Cleveland, Northeast Ohio area in the morning, check them out. They got a lot of good content on there, and we really just appreciate all the love and support that they've been giving us, and just allowing us to be on their platform. So for this episode right here, we're going to talk about Jim Schwartz. We're going to keep this real brief. And what we're going to look at, we're actually going to look at the stats when he was with the Tennessee Titans, when he was a defensive consultant in 21 primarily, because they had a down year in 22, but they were still solid on defense in 22. Their problems were really on the offensive side of the ball. So if we look at the stats for the Tennessee Titans in 21, so that would have been his first year there as defensive consultant. Again, he wasn't the defensive coordinator, but many people would tell you that when he got there, they were already a solid defense, but they went up a tick or two. So overall, they were number 6 in team defense in 2021. 2021, they had the number 1 seed in the first round bye, and they were 25th in pass defense, but the big stat here is they were number 2 in rushing defense. Now, if we flip that over to the Browns and we just look at what their stats were last year in 2022 overall defense, they were 20th, and against the pass, actually were pretty good. They were number 5 against the pass, but against the run, as you probably already know, they were 25th. And I remember watching that Falcons game, and I think the Falcons ran it on them 10 straight times, something like that, something crazy. And, football is a simple game. I think analytics has muddied up the simplicity of all games, basketball, football. But, the simplicity of football is if you can't stop something, why would you ever stop running it? Like if a team can't stop the run, you run it down their throat till they show you they can stop it. If they can't defend the pass, you pass it probably 9 out of 10 times until they show you that they can stop it. There was some issues there stopping the run. Obviously, a lot of injuries to the linebacking core that probably had something to do with it, but it was probably just a combination of things. The scheme probably wasn't the best for the personnel. So if you look at a Jim Schwartz defense, and when we look at the Eagle stats, we're going to look at that in the next video. It's a trend. His run defense is always solid. And if you look at a lot of the free agent moves that they've made this season, obviously if you follow the team, it's no secret they've made a bunch of acquisitions, to improve and beef up the line in the interior. So that should allow Myles Garrett to actually have some assistance in racking up some sack statistics. So definitely believe that Jim Schwartz, I'm not saying that they're going to be a top 10 defense overall. I'm not saying that, but I would be surprised if in the run game, in the run defense specifically, they are not a top 10 run defense. Another thing that I think Jim Schwartz is going to bring to the table, you'll probably remember when they played against the Bengals. I don't remember what receiver got hurt. I don't know if it was Chase. I don't know if it was Higgins. I don't know which one it was. And, one of the defensive coaches said that it threw them off, and they weren't prepared for that.
Well, when you looked back on that game, was there anything differently you guys could have done against Jamar?
Yeah. I mean, it's, I think, going into it, what you see is they have three good receiving threats, and all 3 of them were up for the game. And just the way that the NFL is, like if guys are up, active, that's an important. You're expecting them to play, and so we were planning for all 3 of them to play, and then after one series, 2 of them tap out, and the game changes, and so it stresses your adaptability. We could probably be more aware of when they are in a situation like that, when they have one receiver. But yeah, that was kind of the adaptability of it, trying to have, like, the stress of the defense, trying to put it on the guys and try to defend what you think they're going to try to beat you with.
I mean, is the approach different if you go into that game knowing that T and Tyler aren't going to play?
Yeah. It's like when because really after the first series, I was thinking they would come back. I thought Higgins was going to play spotty, because he played on the third down. So I thought we were going to see him on third down. And, I didn't really know what the situation was with Boyd. I was expecting him to come back and play. And then when he didn't, So there's a process to that. There's like plays in there that are like, I don't know, I think you're going to come back. I think they're going to come back, and then they don't. So
I don't think you're going to have that problem with Schwartz. I think strategy going into the game is going to be great. I think in-game adjustments, because that's where most games are won and lost, are on in-game adjustments. What is the offense doing? What's working? What's not working? And especially if you have an injury or something like that, I don't think you're going to have no issue with Jim Schwartz knowing what to do at what time. Again, Super Bowl championship pedigree. They brought in some players on the roster that have some championship pedigree. So if we go to the Titans just real briefly in 2022, again, they kind of had a bit of a down year in 22, but they were still number one in the run defense. And they were 15th overall. They were, where they at on the pass? They were last in pass defense, but they were first in the run. And I think they went like 7-3 and then lost like 7 straight. Again, I don't know how much of that you can put on the defense. I mean, they traded away A.J. Brown. That didn't help because that was probably the main reason the Eagles went right to the Super Bowl. So there was a bunch of things that happened. But again, I think when you look at Jim Schwartz, you look at the stats, and when we look at the Eagles stats, you're going to see that run defense, they are, they can stop the run. There's no problem handling the run. And if you have a situation where Myles Garrett has some help wreaking havoc on the backfield, you're going to have a situation where you're going to have a lot of sacks. You're going to have a lot of tip balls, a lot of interceptions, because now cornerbacks don't have to cover for 7-8 seconds trying to, hope that the rush gets home. The rush is going to get home. And, one thing we're going to do on this channel before we wrap up, we're going to have something similar to the terror meter. We call it the dog food meter. And right now we're just going to jack the Department of Homeland Security's terror meter, but that's okay because we're going to customize it at some point. But you'll see that as you go up the scale, the danger gets a little bit higher. And so, don't really have enough time to really make a prediction right now for week 1 as far as what the alert is going to be. But, Joe Burrow is dealing with a little bit of a calf injury, so that is probably not going to help his mobility too much. And, again, I got to look at their offensive line. I got to kind of look at, those kind of things to kind of determine what type of pass rush or if the pass rush is going to get home. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be probably in that yellow area somewhere in there. Especially, I think Jim Schwartz is going to come with it pretty early in the season. So very excited about that. We're looking forward to that. We're looking forward to talking about the team and just looking forward to a good season. So again, dogfoodstore.com. Where you can find your Cleveland football apparel. And if you like the episode, please give a like and a subscribe. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Dog Food Store. Same thing as Facebook, and then obviously the YouTube is Dog Food TV. So yeah, we about 8 days away, and we'll see y'all on the next one.